Right, to modify the D2120 lenses, that is, obviously you'll need one screwdriver, two pair of scissors, and obviously there's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws all together, 2 in the sides, basically 2 in every side. This does void your warranty, by the way, as you can see in the screws. Now when you've actually undone all of the screws, let me just put this in. I did this before so I could show you obviously how to remove them. You will have to either grab the side or grab the top or the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it, pull it slightly and then just use your little hook parts to pull the lid off. Ever so gently do it, because it'll be stuck at about that much angle. You may get a little bit more. Now if you look underneath, you will have these cable tied in, and it's the little type of cable ties that hold it in. Now all these connections will be cable tied, just like this side is all cable tied together. At first obviously I cut the cable tie under the mould because I thought that's how you get to get them apart, but in having a closer look, it's actually only this red one that's attached to your LED part, which goes into your power pack this side, and you've got your power pack this side. So they're the main. These are your dimmers, these are your power points, and obviously fans. I'm going to clean the fans before I put it back together. Now once you've got the lid part off, you have another 6, 7, 8 screws again with the heatsink. Now these are the lenses that I'll be changing to. I won't be changing them all, just enough to do this light unit. As you can see, there's 50 in total in this unit. Now the other thing that you want to be careful of is where these wires go through. If you look down the side of your unit, you'll see they're only soldered gently onto the board. So when we undo these, we want to be careful not to pull on anything too hard or anything like that, just so we don't pull everything apart. Just quickly get these undone. Now this part I haven't actually pre-done, so you're seeing it as I'm doing it. So we'll soon find out how easy it is to get this part out. And obviously this part that you see that's really dirty is your heatsink. Could do with a clean as well. When you're undoing these screws, make sure I'm pulling the unit up as I'm pushing down, because I don't want to push too hard on the unit and smash the glass on the underside of this. Bear in mind, do it on a very clean side before you wipe everything down on the side. Make sure it's all dry, make sure there's no bits underneath where you put the unit on. So obviously you don't want to lean it, scratch with the glass or crack the glass. Now this, this does void your warranty. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. I don't take any responsibility for you breaking your unit. I'm doing this just for purposes of so you can see how to take them apart and what I did to modify mine. I mean, if you ever need a power pack replacement or anything like that, and you can get hold of one, there's nowhere to change it. Obviously now you know how to take it apart yourself and do it yourself, really. Don't forget to double check all the screws are the same length, whether there's shorter ones at the front or the back or the sides. Luckily for me right now they're all the same length. Now they are twin washered on the top. They're both the same kind of washer, so just remember that you've got 2 washers per hole as well. It's nearly got this last one out, and it decides to oh, sorry, not the last one, but this one has. We'll go back to that one in a minute. They've just not unscrewed it all the way, which is why it's not come out. Right. Now, obviously you screw, there's one washer. Now, you won't be able to see this really, but the actual other washer is stuck to the unit. So, you won't need to get it off, and your other washer, just put it on your bolt and you're screwing it down. Just don't try to pull them off too hard, obviously. Now if you're wondering what this other colour is here, now that is just a rubber seal, I believe. Just move everything so we've got enough room. Make sure there's nothing on the side again. Now I'm going to slightly press on the underside of this unit on the glass, and it's not coming out, so we'll have a look why it's not coming out. Now you can see the other screws, but as you can see, you can't see them on the top, so just make sure there's none between this dirt and the heatsink really. Nope, can't see any there. The heatsink does, there you go. Don't try to do that, just grab it by the heatsink, give it a little wiggle, and the whole unit will come apart. Now them screws are actually, now I've took it to pieces, are for the heatsink. And obviously that really does need a clean. Let's just put this to one side. Make sure that obviously you're not bending these too much. I'm just going to use this tub, this lid, just to give it a bit of rest on the heatsink so the cables aren't resting on the side, so obviously a bit of an angle. Make sure there's nothing underneath that, it's flat. Alright, new lens, old lens, and as you can see, they just turn, that is it, turn straight off. Obviously you can see the connections. These are slightly different lenses, but they are pretty much, let me show you, I'll fit the new one so you can obviously know the difference between a modded one and a non-modded one. Pop on, turn slightly, lens stops in. Next one, take it off. Make sure you don't push on these too hard, because obviously they're only lightly soldered. Just get it a wiggle. When it's in place, it'll go on. So, and just keep repeating the process all the way down the line till you're happy they're all obviously done. Oops. Now my best advice for this: put the unit back together lightly first. Don't screw it all back together. Obviously connect your power pack, make sure your lid's on, make sure this is back in there. I mean, you don't have to screw it down if you don't want, because if it doesn't come on, you're going to have to take it all to pieces again and then figure out what's wrong again. This may take a while, so I'd set aside a few minutes just to basically think, do you really want to do this? What are the benefits of this? As I have another 2 light units on another tank exactly the same as this, and they are standard the same as this one was, I will do another video after I've put all this back together and let you know how this light unit goes on as well. And so you can see that I'll basically put a light unit in the middle of the tank, switch it on blues, take a photo, well, you'll see it in the video anyway as well, and then on the whites, and then on both, and then you can actually see what the difference is in the angles of lenses. I mean, if you know somebody that's already done this, then you may want to get them to do it if you're not so confident on doing it yourself, or ask the person that you got it from if they can have this done at the factory before you get the light as a custom light. I mean, I could actually quickly hook this back up whilst it's in pieces and then put it on. I'm not going to do that just in case I electrocute myself, and I don't fancy doing that. Now when you put this back together, make sure you've got nothing in between it, like a hair or anything. When you're putting these back in, make sure the board's pretty much clean, well, as clean as you can get it. Just don't put too much pressure on the LEDs because you will pop them off, obviously, and they're not so easy to solder back on. And like I say, with you taking it apart for a start, you've voided your warranty. Oops, wrong lens. That's the thing I like about these as well, is obviously smooth, and you can tell the difference between which ones you're putting on and which ones you're not. Right, I'm going to stop this video now, but I will be posting another one as soon as this is all back together and all of the lights are, all the lenses are on, all the lights are on, so you can see after I've given it a good clean and put it all back together. I mean, I'm only doing this one for tonight, so it's so you can get a gist of whether you want to do this or whether you don't want to do this. If there's any more questions, just message me. I might have missed something that you wanted to ask. Yes, you can solder these back on before anybody asks. Just be very, very, very careful. Get a fine tip soldering iron if you can, gas powered one, soldering iron. Ones that you can make sure you know the temperature of it. Get some other bits and bobs of cable that you can solder beforehand. Just try and do a bit of soldering, just a bit of practice. Even if you've been soldering for years, always give a few practice attempts on something else before you, just 2 bits of cable or anything like that, just before you do it, because you only obviously get one shot of these. You can get replacement bulbs as well, so you could even unsolder them or resolder new ones on, any different kind of one that you want. So right, that is it. If you think of anything you want to ask, just message me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, or you might be able to find it on the other videos that are on the page as well.